fairness.
Now, as I've known you through the articles, is there so with the if you were to summarize to any comedians right now, what would be the questions they should ask themselves to see if they're deluded, and what would say the questions they should ask themselves if they're running a bad night?
If they're running a bad night and what if
So
they're
they're aware of it. What questions?
okay.
How do they
Oh,
become
they're
aware of them?
how did they become aware?
And those questions to find it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a good question. Because there's levels of delusion, do you know what I mean? Like there is a friend of mine who genuinely he does comedy um when when he's not in prison and because he's in and out. But he genuinely has schizophrenia, and so he would actually suffer from delusions. So sometimes when he gets off stage, um, he'll say to me, "What do you think?" And I'll have to stop and I'll go, "Well, what do you think first?" Because I want to know. And sometimes he might say, "I thought that went well." Blah blah blah, and I might not always agree. So I'll say, "I think you were doing grand at this part and this part. I think this joke here it didn't land as well as you thought," and blah blah blah. So I'm not sure if I ask any. Can I? Do you edit this? Yeah. Do you mind if I look for something on my computer right now?
Sure. Okay.
Okay, because there was something I wrote down about this a while ago, and
I'll stop it.
okay, okay. Oh shit! Wait, yeah. Should I wait? Should I give the background to this again?
Yeah, let's do the background for this.
Cool. Sorry, I was just saying to Marvin there, off camera, that about in 2021 there I did a gig that was so bad that I think it made me a better person. It like definitely made me a better comedian as well. And it was in Portrush. It was in the northwest of the country, and I did that gig again for the first time since then about a month or two ago, and it went a lot better. I feel a lot better about it. But yeah, it was an hour and a half drive home, and I was on my own in the car. So I had a very long chat with myself and worked through some things. And I was like, how can I try and duplicate that? How can I make it so that you can turn a bad gig into an opportunity for growth? Um, so these are just some prototype questions I wrote. I never revisited them, and I haven't tried any of them yet, but I'm just having a thought about it. So after the gig, what did you learn? And that can apply to you as a comedian or about that crowd. Um, what did that what did that mean to you? So like if that went badly or well, what does that mean to you? Does that mean that you think everyone from Portrush is stupid, or does that mean I need to be better, or does that mean I'm a failure as a person, or blah blah blah, you know? Um, was it affected by drinking too much slash not enough? Um, what did you think of them? Brackets the crowd. Like, what did you think of them? Do you think these people are all dickheads, or these people are all stupid, or these people are right, I'm terrible, or did you like I think try and be as granular as possible, like what did you think of the crowd? Um and then could it be true what you think of them? Could it be true? What do you think they thought of you? And could that be true? Um is the feeling that you have right now similar to any other situation in your past? So that's usually regarding psychotherapy phenomenon of transference or projection. Like maybe you feel like the crowd hate you because of an experience in your past that sort of attitude felt like hatred. Um, so is it feeling similar to any other situation in your past? Where could that be coming from? Um, and this one I think is really important, right? In an alternate world where that gig goes well with the same crowd, what would you be doing differently or have done differently? So like I don't think it's as black and white as never blame the crowd or uh, always blame the crowd. It's there's but sometimes it is the crowd's fault. Sometimes it's your fault. Usually it's the fault of what's in between you. It's that you didn't connect. You know what I mean? So like if you meet someone and you don't get along with them, that doesn't make that person a dickhead and it doesn't make you a dickhead. It means that the thing between you didn't quite meet. It's the fault of the in between, you know. Um, and I sort of if a gig goes badly, I think like even if I am utterly convinced it's the crowd's fault, and I'm like, they couldn't have liked anything, I'm like, well, what would have worked? Is there like an alternate reality where I've done something different that would have worked? Even in that alternate reality, is it just the fact that I'm Jimmy Carr in that alternate reality? If like if I had a stinker of a gig, I go, would they have laughed if I was somebody famous? And I think they probably would have. The most terrible crowd in the world would pay attention to somebody famous that they know. So, that's maybe that's what was missing was pre-existing fame, or what is it about that person that they like? Did I have that? Anyway, sorry. I'm not really answering your original question. I've gone on to something different here. To become more aware, I mean, I suppose, how do you build a reflective capacity? I suppose what you could do is um, you could go completely factual and listen to recordings of your set and judge the decibels, you know what I mean, of the laughter. Um, and maybe compare it to other sets of your own. I wouldn't compare it to other people on that night, because if you compare yourself too much to other acts, it's not good for the soul. You're only really in a race against yourself here. You don't have to sort of go, I started gigging at the same time as Jimmy here. So the minute Jimmy does a bigger gig, I should start trying to do that bigger gig. That's not good for you. That's not a way to be. I think, yeah, you're in a race with yourself more than anyone else. But gosh, I don't know. I think like the thing about this reflective capacity thing is it's like it's it's I don't think it's something you either have or you don't, but I can't really. I suppose you could ask for feedback from people who you trust, and and create an environment with them where they feel like they can be open with you. So you can say to someone, "Can you be honest with me? Was that bad?" Or "Can you be honest with me? Um, how did that go in your opinion?" Uh, I think I think this is the thing is you collect opinions and you can synthesize it rather than just take it as given. Um, so maybe you leave the stage, you think that was amazing. You ask a friend and they say, it wasn't great. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're right or that you're right. You can put it together and say, some people thought this was good and some people thought it was bad. The ones that thought it was bad thought it because of this, and I thought it was good because of this. And it's, yeah, anyway, sorry, I'm giving a very long, rambling answer, but I do feel like um just collecting opinions from others is probably a good start, just to try and course correct.
Hmm. And would you say that sort of advice goes into running gigs as well?
Oh yeah, fuck, I forgot about that other part of the question. Uh yeah. I mean, like, usually, I think that whether or not a gig is good, it's hmm, it's ultimately decided by the audience, isn't it? And if you if do they look happy is probably a good thing to ask yourself. Do they look happy enough whenever they're leaving or in the break? Because, like, I think sometimes I'm always at the back of the room at the sound desk when I'm running the night. And sometimes I'll think to myself, oh God, this is not going great. They're quite quiet. And then I'll come to the front of the room, maybe to perform or maybe just to collect the camera or anything like that. And I'll notice, oh, actually, the crowd look very happy. Some crowds are just a bit quieter. They show their appreciation through smiles, which is not helpful, but it's better than it's better than a crowd actively having a bad time. I think so. Like, I think ultimately that should be just the question at the root of it. Like, do the crowd look happy? You know, um, do the acts feel happy? Probably secondary to the crowd, in my opinion. But it's good to ask yourself these things.